Alright, this is what we're going to be building in this course. This whole diagram might seem a little too much, but just don't worry about it. I'll be explaining everything to you. So, let's get started from the other part of the diagram. We'll first start by creating our own custom VPC, or Virtual Private Cloud Environment. And we're going to be using 10.0.0.0/16 as the cider block of this diagram, of this VPC, actually. And after we finish with our VPC creation, we're going to be launching two subnets. One of them is going to be a public subnet, and we're going to be using 10.0.1.0/24 with the public subnet. And for the private subnet, we're going to be using 10.0/2.0/24. These IP blocks are going to allow us to provide over 200 IPs for our machines and for the network elements that we're going to launch in these subnets. So I'm hoping that you're familiar with cider blocks, and this is going to be a very useful exercise on them, how to implement from the code. After we finish with our subnets and VPC, we're going to be adding a root table to our public subnet. That root table is going to be special because with that root table, we're going to be able to access internet through the internet gateway that we're going to also create. With the help of the internet gateway, with the usage of root table, we'll connect that to our public subnet, and eventually we'll be able to access internet within the machines that we're going to launch in the public subnet. This is very important, and I'll show you every detail about it. Just don't worry about it right now. And when we finish with our VPC, public subnet, root table, and internet gateway, we'll eventually start launching EC2 instances within those subnets. And we'll first start by launching a public EC2 instance within the, of course, public subnet. And with the help of our internet gateway and our custom root table, we'll be able to access internet from that EC2 instance. And we're also going to use a startup script for our EC2 instance, and we're going to serve a web page when we launch our EC2 instance. And when we try to access it from the internet, we'll be able to see our web page that we provided within the startup script of the EC2 instance. And after experimenting with our public EC2 instance, we're going to be launching a private EC2 instance. And we're going to verify that it is not accessible from the internet. And to connect to our private EC2 instance, we're going to be making use of our subnet blocks, and with the help of our default root table, since all these subnets are within the same VPC, we will be able to access our private EC2 instance from our public EC2 instance exclusively. No one outside our VPC will be able to access our private EC2 instance. So this is going to be a very useful exercise to either isolate or allow connections to network elements within VPCs and subnets. And eventually, when we finish our VPC and EC2 sections, we will be having this diagram programmatically created on AWS. And in every step, after a couple of implementations about Boto3 and Python, we're going to be launching our AWS console, logging into it, and verifying everything that we did from the code. So you'll be seeing everything in action from the code perspective to AWS console perspective. So this is going to be a very hands-on and a very interactive course. So I'm happy that you chose to take this course, and you're going to be learning a lot about AWS and how to manage your resources within virtual private cloud environments or VPCs, and how to launch instances both privately and publicly.